Everything in this video and on this channel is for educational purposes only. All content is intended for viewers 21 years of age and older. All persons shown in this video are 21 years of age or older.
Yo, I'm Steve.
And I'm Nicole, and this is the Level Up Show.
Get to your highest level that you can't deny with Level Up Seed and Garden Supply. To grow your medication and you need an education, we're your one-stop shop, 6th and Laurel Block. For your pots and soil and your lights and beams, Level Up has you covered, we have all of your needs. Get to your highest level that you can't deny with Level Up Seed and Garden Supply. Level that you can't deny with Level Up Seed and Garden Supply.
Yeah, and today we have somebody in the room that's green.
Green? What do you mean? Is it
It's
Oscar
green.
Grouch?
They sell some nutrients. They're blended.
Yeah.
I'm giving you some hints here.
I'm excited because I know who it is.
We've been dealing with them for 4 years. We love them.
Yeah, and they flew all the way from New York. It's Emerald Harvest.
Emerald Harvest.
Hello.
How are
we
you
got
guys?
Phil and Mel here today.
How's it going, guys?
We appreciate you guys making the trip through the storm last night, and I know you were a little
You
delayed.
guys had a long travel day yesterday coming in from New York,
Yeah,
yes?
a couple delays, back and forth between a few different airports, and but everything works out, and we're here.
I'm so
excited.
thankful that you guys made the trip down here because it's just really fun to get to kind of know your product a little bit better.
Yeah.
Obviously, we sell it in the store. We have a lot of customers that use it, and we know how it works. But I like to dive in a little bit deeper, you know. And
Let's dive into you guys first. Melanie, what's your background? What led
first,
you to
can
this
I just
part?
first say, Melanie is the first female that we have had on the show yet. Woo woo! I'm so excited because this is such a male
Wait a minute.
Listen, this is a male-dominated industry, and we finally got a female on here. Can I just say hallelujah?
Hallelujah. We appreciate it.
So we're so happy you're here, Melanie.
Yeah, so
for
tell us,
having us.
Melanie, a little bit of your background and what led you to Emerald Harvest.
So I did not come from this industry. I was a fashion and art major. He worked for another company and actually had a non-compete. So they brought me on. The company is all about education. Like I said, I did not come from this. Imbibing, yes, but everything else, I'm like, wait, what is this? Wait,
We are all about sharing the knowledge, and I love that. And so they brought you in, and have you been, I guess you weren't a grower before, but have you been growing since then?
Yes, and not as much as I would love, just
'Cause
honestly,
you guys
here and there
travel
we
and stuff.
travel so much. We've been with them for almost 10 years, and we cover everything east of Oklahoma, Caribbean, Puerto Rico. So it's like there's
a lot of travel.
Yeah, I mean, we would go on the road for 3-4 months at a time.
Yeah.
And also living in New York, you know, we have a landlord.
What about you, Phil?
Really got started in the industry in terms of more along the trapping side of things.
Yeah, of course. A lot of us start there, yeah.
Yeah.
It evolved into some cultivation. Actually, I in college worked with somebody at a restaurant, and her father worked in the industry for a nutrient company, so he'd give me some.
Did you grow up in New York? Was this?
No, we both grew up in Ohio.
Okay. So you Midwest roots, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Northeastern Ohio. I'm from Kent. Mel's from Canton. Liberal town, so you know there are a lot of plants over there. But yeah, evolved, kept in touch with this guy. He'd give me fertilizers to try out on plants and stuff like that. And then ended up moving to New York. Kept in touch with him, but, you know, kind of took a little step back from the industry, was working in the streetwear and skateboarding industry, working for a clothing line. So did that for years. And then was in the art world for a little bit. I went to school for glass blowing. So
You guys are both artists.
So you're both from the culture. So
Yeah.
that's why it's just perfect for you guys to be where you're at and we're where we're at now, because we're from it too. We might have been living in the closet back in the day, but you know, we were still living it.
Yeah.
So from there, I got a little bit screwed over on a commission from selling some artwork, and so I put in my 2 weeks, and literally that day, this guy that I knew when I was in college called me. He's like, "Hey man, you still passionate about plants? You want to get back in the industry?" And went for an interview in Philadelphia. Got hired pretty much on the spot. I was there for about 5 years. Before parting ways and coming over to Emerald with
Nice.
a little non-compete time in between. But
Yeah.
Now
with
there's
all
something
that,
you guys, both of you, haven't said yet. You guys are married to each other and you work together.
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys have a really good relationship, right?
Yeah, small New York apartment, small hotel. sales.
Great. You guys are good friends.
You got to figure out how to make it work, right?
You got a good teammate.
It's exciting though, because the biggest thing I think, or the main thing that everyone always says is, "Oh, I could never do it." But you have those moments. You're with whoever you are with for 24 hours a day.
It doesn't matter who it is. We're not married, and we have those moments.
Exactly, and you get frustrated. But then there's also all these big things that you get to see that are so exciting. We get to watch each other close these huge sales. We get to watch each other have that moment, or open up a new account, and
I really believe that
and do that together.
Guys and girls attack problems different angles, and they're both good angles. And when our angle don't work, your angle will work. Your angle don't work, our angle will work, and together that's a dynamite duo.
It's a very much a balance. I mean, we have certain clients that I deal with that just respond better to me.
Yes.
She has certain ones,
Totally.
and then certain clients that need that good cop bad cop, and she'll come in and soften the blow after I'm kind of a dick.
Bill's not going to do this for me. I'm going to call Melanie.
we have that same dynamic, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just called, what do they call that? Mood swings?
Yeah. Well, I always say that you're PMS.
I had a good day yesterday. I had a great day yesterday. Everything went okay yesterday.
Yesterday was good. Yes. Nobody's
day.
PMSing this week.
But yeah, I mean, what she touched on, it's great to see. When we started with this company, there was almost no business. They had signed up. I mean, they hadn't even been out a year.
When did you start with the company?
6 months after it launched.
What year was that?
2015.
Okay.
Right, so you guys been there for a long haul, huh?
About 10 years now. Yeah.
We're the first and only East Coast reps.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I hadn't heard of Emerald Harvest for a while. Like, it just came into my view maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Like, it hasn't been all that long, like some of the other nutrient lines that were around. So but it's made a splash here in this area.
We've had it from the beginning, and I notice a lot of people around my stores, the other stores, they don't carry it, and I've been seeing what people do with it, and I'm like, okay, don't carry it.
Yeah, here in Springfield, it's really popular. I would say
is.
it's more popular here at our Springfield location than our East Peoria location.
Yeah. Where do you guys have hot zones where it's more popular?
Yeah.
100%. Obviously we pushed really hard in Michigan initially because that market was super hot. Oklahoma has taken a tremendous jump for us in terms of, I mean, that market is saturated with the Chinese and Vietnamese growers.
So Michigan said 99 plants to everyone, and then Oklahoma said anybody can get a license to grow.
Grow as much as you want.
Yeah,
Really?
which I like both of those.
Which is nice, but it does flood the market, right? Like
Yes.
Illinois, we can only go 5 plants, and it's very strict, but our market's not as flooded.
Yeah, but they don't tell you how big the plants can be.
No, I hate
know
that
what I
it's
mean?
like a number of plants. This is what drives me crazy, because it's like I can grow 5 little plants, or I can grow 5 trees. The amount is so different, and like it's asinine. Like just the laws they come.
Well,
up
and then
with,
do they count anything with roots as a plant?
Yeah, there's no clear expectation. It should be like a square footage. You can grow so much square footage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that should be what it is. But whatever. We don't make the laws. We just follow
Well,
them.
and your product is designed to veg big plants, because you're adding food. You're not just running a soil-only type thing. And I feel like with your product, I've seen people do a 5-gallon and fill a whole freaking light, and the plant's happy to the end.
I mean, that's the Michigan way. A lot of these guys are growing 1 plant per light, and they're doing like the 72 plants for the caregiver grows.
Yeah.
They're
just
huge.
growing trees.
Going with the green bottles, it works.
Well, and if you look at the green bottles in particular, you'll notice the green cap is a little bit lighter. And they did that to simulate like the new growth. So like the attention to detail
I
that
totally
our
get
owner
that.
has.
I could show you a picture of my grow right now because it just came out of veg recently, and like all the new little top looks just like that, like literally just like that. I love
So
that.
all that resin is all blended for us. It's a custom color.
Special, yeah.
Robert, the owner, he had such an incredible vision, and he had an artist with him, so he just basically had them put his brain on paper.
Yep.
Well, you can
And-
see even behind you like you have the King Cola, and it's like he is the King Bud Cola. One time, this is so stupid, but we were talking about nicknames, how we needed nicknames, and I said that, what was my nickname going to be? Oh, my last name's Beard, so I was going to be the Bearded Nugget.
Bearded nugget.
He didn't like it though.
That was kind of weird. What was my nickname? I don't know. You didn't give me a nickname.
Phony bologna. I remember bologna macaroni.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
something
Bologna
bologna
macaroni.
macaroni.
Anyway, and I love the honeycomb and the sturdy stalk. You have the emerald goddess. Like we'll show you some other bottles too. But every single additive has a different design, which is like awesome and cool.
And we're going to get into that on the different additives, which is great because you don't have to run the whole line. You could just try one of these additives to your lineup and see results like increased terpenes and resin. And I see people doing that, just so you guys know. I see some people coming in and grabbing just a honeycomb and, just certain items and using them with great success.
I mean, yeah, obviously with any of these nutrient lines, they're created to be used symbiotically as a whole lineup.
Yes.
And that's what we think is the optimal use for it. But to say that you can't incorporate our products with other
Yes.
lines is just that would be
That's what
false.
gets people using it.
Well,
And then
right.
as soon as they like it, they're like, well, I'm going to try the Root Wizard. Well, I'm going to try the Emerald God. And then next thing you know, they're running it, and they're with great success, and their pH in it right where it needs to be, and these plants are doing great.
And you understand too, we get, the owner understood too, and being in this industry for so long, you try a bottle first, right? So there's like trusting bottles that you can,
Yeah.
okay, let's try this cow mag.
try
I
the
can
cow
I
mag.
can
That's
switch that in
usually
and
what
out.
it
Let me
is.
add that Emerald Goddess. Let me try this honeycomb.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh shit, okay.
I like
Yeah, I
that.
gotta try some more. Let me try some more and let me see what happens.
That's
and
how
you
it
see that
happens.
difference. So
That's how it happens.
The big thing is just, looking at what is actually in the makeup of the bottles and making sure you don't have redundancies so you don't have a toxicity or burn your plant. Because we do combine more things into less bottles.
Right.
And that's where it can get a little tricky. You might be cutting out multiple bottles from other lines, and just to be careful with that.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to stick with one full line because you're not being redundant like that,
Yeah.
or missing something on accident.
Well, I think we should take a short break.
Take a
We'll
quick
come back.
break.
We'll dive into the A's and B's and
The baselines?
The baselines, and let's talk more about them and look at these numbers, because there are some pretty big numbers on those bottles,
Yeah.
which I like.
And I want to ask some questions about what sets Emerald Harvest apart from the rest. So we will be back in just a few minutes after
Yeah.
a word from our partner.
Thanks. See you soon. We're back. Thanks for sticking with us.
Back, and we still have Emerald Harvest here with Phil and Mel. So we're going to dive into these different baselines here that you have. But I also want to tell you, have you guys tell us a little bit about like what Emerald Harvest stands for. What is their motto?
our motto is simple, easy success.
Simple, easy success. I like that. Everybody that grows wants simple and easy. Yep.
And to be successful, because why do you want to keep
That's the
coming
number
back
one.
to something that's, just not working for you? And we really want to empower growers with, an innovative and effective solutions, so that and he'll go into a little bit more of that, but you need that and you need something different. A lot of this industry kind of became rebottled, so we really are an innovative line.
What I find is that especially nutrient lines can be a black hole for a lot of people, especially if they don't have any previous knowledge and they get overwhelmed so easily, and they don't know what to do. So I like simple, and I like for the companies to spell it out, because as a person who works in a shop like this, I can make it easy for my new customers. That way.
Hold up that feeding chart you got right there, just in front of you for a second, for everyone at
Like,
home
give
to
me
see.
a good recipe
Look
and
at that.
a
That's
good sourced
size.
line.
That's big numbers, because most of these people, their eyes get bad when they get older, and they don't like looking at little bitty feeding charts.
Hey, stop
So I
talking
like that-
about me.
Where's your glasses?
I do have glasses.
You need to put those glasses on and let people know who you really are.
I know, truly. Anyway, I do like a simple, easy nutrient line. So tell me a little bit about, you have two different baselines here, right? So we have a 2-part and we have a 3-part. So let's start with the 2-part.
So in terms of like what Mel's saying, simple, easy success, we wanted something that would appeal to first-time growers all the way up to commercial growers. Part of that was laying out 2 different base nutrient options. We have the AB Grow, AB Bloom, or the 3-part Grow Micro Bloom. In terms of the AB Grow, AB Bloom, I kind of think that's more forgiving for first-time growers. You're using even amounts of A and B, so the bottles are running out at the same time. But what's in those bottles is essentially the same thing, just divvied up a little bit differently.
Right.
With the A and B and the Grow Micro Bloom, you've got 3 different iron chelated copper, manganese, and zinc, and then ideal levels of boron and molybdenum. So a lot of people are putting the boron and molybdenum in bloom boosters or silicas and stuff like that. We believe in building like healthy amounts of it
In the base.
through the base.
So the word chelated is this, for everyone at home, is letting you know that these nutrients are readily available. It's not going to take a week to break down, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Chelation comes from the Latin word for claw. So it's literally like, boom, grabbing it, able to pick it up. But yeah, with the A and B, very concentrated. You look at what you're doing in peak flower, it's 6 mLs of A, 6 mLs of B. I mean,
That's at your peak?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
nice, because a lot of these companies you're using 12 or more,
I've seen base nutrients go up to 40
Isn't
of
that
A and B.
crazy?
And
I mean, you're using half the bottle, right? Practically on like, on one feeding. That's crazy.
but
Yeah, it's very potent.
Yeah, so concentration is key. So I don't have to buy multiple bottles during my grow. Do you think that one of these will, I mean, depending on the amount of plants, obviously will last you through most of your harvest? Like, or do you have to buy multiple to get through?
so in terms of like the kit,
Yeah, like the kit, the starter kit right here. Perfect example.
That'll do a 4x4, start
Yeah,
to finish.
4x4 start to
And you'll
finish.
have a little bit left over, a little bit of the base left over, and the root wizard you can use multiple rounds.
Right, definitely the additives you probably don't go through quite as fast.
the goddess and honeycomb, you use
do.
a lot of those. You're
Okay.
starting early veg up until, I mean, the honeycomb goes through flush even.
I like that you're using that all the way through though.
And I want to dive into that one. But also, you got the Grow Micro Bloom. So why do I always favor the 2-part over the 3-part? I think you might have said it earlier. It's easier to work with. I don't overfeed as much or something, right?
Well, the way I kind of look at it is this would be your automatic, this would be your stick shift.
Okay.
In theory, you could push a 3-part harder just because you have a little more control, adjusting ratios and stuff like that. You can do some more unique things. I mean, we have people, obviously, you have people who do the Lucas method. Each their own.
Explain that to us.
Just using the micro and bloom and not using a grow. I do believe there's 3 parts for a reason.
So they just use like the soil to feed the veg part, or they just don't? They take out the grow.
They just take
completely?
out the grow completely.
Because
and they
there's
just,
enough nitrogen in the micro.
Yeah, and I mean, in theory, yes, you can definitely do that. There are plenty of charged soils out there that, unless you're feeding or you're vegging for more than 30 days.
Yeah, but I do know that. And I veg, like, I'll tell you, I'll let my soil feed my baby plants for a little bit. But once they start getting to be a decent size, like, I want to hit them harder, right? I want them to be bigger and stronger. I don't want them just to be healthy. I want them to be, like, supercharged. Like, so I'm going to push them a little bit harder.
And we're because of the travel and our limited time to be plant touching, we do a lot with autopots. Shout out Autopot.
Shout out Autopot. Yeah, Autopot's great for people
Love
that
them.
travel, right? Because you're changing the reservoir maybe once a week, you know?
Oh, I
It's
was
just
double
feeding you.
stacking them. I think
Double
the long.
stack, so I can be gone for longer than a week.
Yeah. I think the longest we had one go was like, I want to say like 17 days or something like that.
That's pretty wild,
And
yeah.
kept-
and plants are happy.
And
Yeah.
we're talking outside in New York City through some of the hottest time of the year.
That's crazy.
No,
Shout out Autopot.
no
That's
circulation in the reservoir, nothing, and it stayed clear.
In the
That's
city
great.
like that, do you have a little balcony or something you can
Got
grow
a whole
on?
backyard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
in the city,
yeah.
so that's good. I wasn't expecting that. I figured they call it the concrete jungle, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
they have little backyards, little backyards with fences and stuff, you know. Yeah,
Good. Okay, so if we're gonna run hydro, both of those would work.
Soil, hydro, cocoa, soilless. This will run in whatever you want to do it.
And then our pH range would vary on what we're doing, kind of.
5.8 to 6.3 is generally kind of the sweet spot.
These are not pH perfect, right? So you need to pH these each time
It's
you're using
pH
them.
neutral though.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
nice, good to know.
So if you mix it with RO water, it probably comes out pretty good, I'd imagine.
Correct.
A lot of people here are mixing with tap water, and we try to explain to them that tap water has already a parts per million in it, and when you're adding this on top of that, you're getting a little bit too much, you know?
Well, your pH on your tap water is coming out typically like around 8, maybe even sometimes 9, you know, like it'll be up higher a lot of times.
So in that sense, you're probably going to bring it down a little bit. But I mean, our water was coming off the tap at basically RO water levels. I mean, we had 0 parts per million
Man,
because we
that's
were
nice.
right off a water line, like
Can't
a main.
beat that.
So I was not pHing at all.
Yeah.
I was just mixing it, and it would stay in the sweet
Well,
spot.
I
We
like-
use a lot of RO water.
I like that his high end was 6.3 because at 6.4 what locks out iron, and I feel like
starts
iron
locking
is
out
one of
some
the
of
most
the-
important micronutrient for some reason in my mind.
Micronutrient. So on the Grow Micro Bloom, the 3-part, is it a 1-to-1-to-1? Are you measuring a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio?
No, you're going to see the different ratios. Obviously, you're using more grow in veg and more bloom in the flower.
I like that. There's some companies that do the Grow Micro Bloom, the 3-part, and it's a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio all the way through. And I kind of think, I don't know that can be the best for the plant. Just knowing how the plant needs different nutrients at different times, like I don't know how you can keep it so consistent all the way through. So I like that they're dialing it in for the plant's needs.
They dialed this in so specifically. They precisely, yes, thank you. They we actually had come out with another one, and they
a feed chart,
and they this one, and they dialed it in. It was like 1 milliliter
of
like one thing. Yeah, they're like,
we're gonna change this.
Yeah, the testing was intense on this, and they
like
tested
that.
with other products too, because we know other people. There's sometimes that bottle that you just, no matter what you're doing, you're gonna use that bottle. So we tested it,
right?
And we would test with the line, and be like, actually this doesn't play very nice, or yeah, that's fine, you can use that.
I love
so
that.
They really wanted to make it easy for everybody to be able to use and bring in their stuff and be successful.
Well, it sounds like they pay attention and they move with their product in the correct direction. If somebody discovers something with your product and it can be proven, they probably move that direction. And that means they have humility, which is a very big thing to have nowadays.
Yeah, right. When you have the data and you follow the data, and you're not just going by gut or whatever, you can really make the changes and then dial that in specifically,
But any time I've seen somebody ever struggle with your product, it was because the pH was off, by 0.3 to 0.4 in one direction or the other. And as soon as they bring it in, they're like, oh my gosh. And, they get the results they want.
The other thing I see people struggle with is, for years in this industry, it has been commonplace, like, oh, just cut the nutrients in half, feed half of what they're recommended.
Yeah.
And that's because so many years have gone by where people are just trying to sell nutrients. And it's like, they want you to go through your bottles as quick as possible.
Right.
It's like, no, this is an accurate feeding chart. So if you're in a standard recirculating system, if you're in a drain to waste, drain to waste, I generally, if you were watering 3 times a week, I do 2 feeds, then a water day.
Right.
And then from there, if you want to tweak it, mid-flower, say, hypothetically, you can up either the bloom base or like the King Cola and stuff like that to push it. So like maybe 1.5 times strength, that King Cola on that first feeding.
Push
then
it a little harder.
Yeah, just hammer it, then go to the normal feeding, then give it a break with like a water day with maybe just CalMag or silica or something like that. Yeah. So just that stair step. So it's really a straightforward feeding chart. It's very baseline. I don't think anybody should be burning their plants. I have people who feed with this feed chart every single time, and they don't have any issues.
I love that.
The biggest thing when people are like, oh, well, I didn't get the yields I got, I was like, you cut back, didn't you?
Yeah.
You didn't follow the directions. And that's what it is every time.
Well, I agree. I tell people you have to put the gas pedal to the metal, and if you want to win this race, if you want yours to be the biggest and the best yields, and you can't pull off. I
have a question. I think I might know the answer. I'm just going to guess, but how long in a reservoir will this stuff stay good?
So I generally hold it for about a week.
Okay,
and there's things
average.
You can get away with for doing a little longer. I find heavy aeration with air stones can be problematic because the humic in some of the products.
You are not the first person that said that.
So I recommend a recirculating pump over air stones. I think air stones, a lot of times people have the pumps on the ground. You're pulling whatever's in that room into your reservoir.
When you say you recommend that, do you recommend it runs all the time, or do you just recommend it turns on before feeding?
I recommend, you could do it every few hours, kick on for like 5 minutes or something like that. Yeah. Just because...
it will heat it up, I noticed, so we're trying to avoid heat too.
Yeah, like our Emerald Goddess, that one has a lot more of the organics to it, the hemp protein and the King Cola, like those things. If you just let it sit stagnant, they do tend to settle over time, but if you have it just kick on for maybe 3 minutes every 2 hours,
I was going to guess.
Like
I was going to guess 10 to 12 days because I got customers. That's what they do. They fill their garbage can up and they pH it, and they just rock and roll. 10 days that it's out and they refresh it.
But if you're recircling it, you can do that. You can get away with that.
The thing obviously because we're changing the reservoirs weekly generally.
Yeah. Well, if you size your reservoir correctly, that's something else at home. You guys remember. Don't go out and get a 100-gallon reservoir if you got one tent.
No, and then make your veg newts up once or your
get the right size for the right grow that you're doing, and it's way easier because then you'll be like, oh, when do I mix it? Well,
and I'll tell you, for Illinois, I have 5 plants, and and I do a 32-gallon reservoir, right? And I make 30 gallons up in my 32 gallons. So 30 gallons pretty much lasts me for a good week with
There
my
we go,
plants.
right
So
there. And that's a
you
what,
go.
a 5x5?
5x5, 5-gallon pots, 5 plants.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yep. So take that to heart at home. You don't need all this extra on hand if you don't need it, because it does go bad. Listen to everybody that's actually been on the show, and stuff's eventually going to go bad.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to keep your newts fresh. And if I'm feeding my plants, like tonight's an off night, I'm not watering tonight, so I'm not going to mix up my new newts tonight. I have to make up new newts, but I'll do it tomorrow. That way they stay fresher longer. Like you want to make sure you're keeping that kind of stuff in mind.
And your plants will respond better. You know, it's just proven.
And some of these things, I mean, it's not like you're brewing a tea, so keeping it going longer is better.
Yeah.
We do have beneficial bacteria, so if you're really bubbling that sort of thing up, you can get a little soupier, and it's just not as clean to do.
Which one of your products has the beneficial bacteria in it?
That's our root wizard.
Root
The
Wizard.
Root Wizard. Nice.
Yep.
Good to
Okay.
know. Good
Makes
to know.
sense.
Well, let's get into some of those additives, but before we do that, we're going to do a strain review. So we're
Yeah.
going to take a second, do a strain review. We'll be right back, and we'll talk about all these additives.
All right. See you guys
Stick
soon.
with us.
Nicole, what is that skunk smell?
Well, I think what you're talking about is the perfect hero to save you from all your aches and pains. Skunk Hero.
Wowzers. And what's the cross on that?
So this one's from Ethos, and it's Super Skunk crossed with Mandarin Sunset. What I love about this is it's a 90% sativa. So although it's categorized as a hybrid, it's really mostly sativa.
Yeah, and anytime I think sativa, I think flowering time needs to be a little longer.
Yeah, this one has to flower a little longer, but look at those yields. Can you just take a look at those and just let's just appreciate that. Look.
I wish we had a hand in there so we could see the measurement itself, but look at the frost on that.
The bright orange hairs is beautiful.
And I've grown this a couple times, and I can tell you it's solid, and it is heavy.
Yeah, so good yield. It's a skunk, obviously, got a little skunk flavor and smell to it, and a little diesel citrus back nose on it.
So even though it is a sativa, I felt like it got about chest high, and that was not too tall for me for a sativa.
Yeah, so, nice for indoor growing anyway. This one's going to give you a euphoric boost, so really uplifting, physically relaxing, but mentally vibrant. That's how I would describe it.
That way you can get your goals accomplished for the day and be happy.
Yeah, and a lot of times sativas will help with, and this one does, help with some appetite loss. So if you have nausea or appetite loss, depression, anxiety, fatigue, chronic stress, chronic pain.
Yeah, and these plants were grown with Heavy 16 and a Growers Republic Light. Check them out.
Oh, yeah.
We're back.
And we're back with Emerald Harvest, and we're gonna keep talking to them about some of the additives they have with their line here. We talked about the baselines, and now the additives are, to me, kind of some of the most exciting parts, because this is where you can really baseline. Everybody has to use the baseline, right? But this is where you can really start to kind of steer your crop at the way that you want it to go, right? So
Yeah.
let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, so let's look up here at the computer, and let's start with this Root Wizard. I really like the tree.
The wise sage old tree.
Yeah, but as you can see, it's got a lot of detail in it. So someone drew that, right? You had an artist or something. What's the story behind all those images? Do you know?
Robert's brain. He wanted to be different.
Yeah.
He's got this incredible, magnificent brain, and the artist sat with him and just going over and over
Look
and
at the
over
little
again.
mushrooms. You see the little mushrooms? Aren't those cute?
Maybe that looks like Robert.
I also like that it tells you the characteristics. Like, it's going to tell you what this liquid should look like, smell like, texture, the shelf life. How that's so nice. Like, honestly,
Takes the guesswork out of for you guys too. So if a customer goes home and they're like, "Wait, is this supposed to
Something's not
be
right."
milky like
Yep,
this?"
we can pull
come
this
back.
right
yep,
up.
it is. And if not, then obviously we will change it. But we keep a bottle from every single batch that has ever been made, and in the last 10 years, so that if something is off, they can go back to that batch and say, "Oh yeah, there was something in the batch," or
I
"Nope,
like
that
it.
wasn't. Maybe it was tampered
so
with."
quality control all
Absolutely.
the way.
And it's standing behind your consistency. Putting that in paper, be like, it's gonna look like this. I mean, we have multiple different sources for every different element. If something we get is not up to our standards, we're gonna send it back and get it from somewhere else.
Right.
It's really a focus to have that consistency, because it's important for the garden.
So one of the things that customers really want or and look for is like sourcing and stuff. And so this is part of that. This is telling you it's going to be honey colored. It's going to smell a little bit like yogurt. It has a slightly viscous and slippery texture. And then it tells you it has an 18-month or more shelf life. It also tells you what Root Wizard contains that need to be kept out of direct sunlight for best results after opening. All of these nice details that makes it easy for you as a consumer.
So Phil, get into the details, Phil and Melanie, on what is Root Wizard? What is it doing for us when we're using it?
So it is 6 core strands of bacillus bacteria. These are plant growth promoting rhizobacteria. Some of them have enzymatic properties. Some of them are phosphate solubilizing bacteria. Some of them kind of wear multiple different hats. And, the adage that has been used in this industry is the bigger your roots, the bigger your fruits.
Right.
So a lot of this is going to keeping that root zone healthy, happy, supporting your plant, acting as extensions of the roots and kind of digesting things and making them more available to your plant. And just driving profits from the root up.
I love it.
We got these little slogans underneath each one of our
slap
things.
it on there, driving profits from the root up. I like it.
But also what you want to take into account too, we had a chemist that was not from this industry, so he could really have a fresh eye and break things down. And the more varieties of beneficial bacteria, they start to kind of cannibalize one another. So you really have to be specific about what you're picking. So
That's
with
right.
just our 6, some of them have 14, 20 on the back of them.
Obviously, you're going to make sure that you're not using heavily chlorinated or chloramine water. That will kill microbial strands.
Good tip for everyone at home. Tap water has chlorine in it, and there's ways to remove it. But
it could be killing your good microbe.
Yeah, and then so not only that, and obviously making sure you're not running like a hypochlorous acid or something like that. But it is safe for enzymes.
You mean for like a pH down?
No, like
for like a line cleaner.
Some companies have like a cleaner that they'll use with hypochlorous acid.
There's a couple brands out there that contain it. Generally, as long as you're not using something like that, they're going to do nice. It's going to play nice. The other thing to look at is a lot of these companies will do multiple weeks in veg and bloom. We focus on 1 week in veg, 1 week in bloom, and we do a little higher concentrations.
So on the Root Wizard, you use it 1 week in veg, 1 week in bloom. So you're not using it throughout the whole grow.
No,
Okay.
and the reason why we do that is we do a higher concentration, and in those feedings we're feeding more, and we just found that when people are using a non-ideal water source like a chlorinated water, it gives a higher collination rate in your root zone. So that's part of the reason why we do that. That being said, if you're using a good water source and maybe you're sizing up in pots and veg, you could do a half strength inoculation in your original pot, and then when you go into
strength in the next one. I
exactly.
got you. Break it up a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie. My favorite shirt to wear is the King Cola shirt.
You ever watch Shameless?
I actually like the King Cola one.
Is that not Frank?
That's
You're never gonna unsee it now.
Until you said that, I did not see it, but it's the eyes. It's the eyes and the mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean,
great.
each one of these products, our owner, when he was making those with the artist, he throws out an idea. He's like, I want it like this. The artist spits it back.
Big nug that looks like.
All right.
So he spits them back, and then the artist is like, well, this is what I came back with, and then Robert is like, nope, change it. I want it completely different. And they go back and forth for months on each one of these products.
It looks great.
I know King Cola is a powerful bloom booster, but dive into it a little bit. What are we doing here?
So we talked about being innovative. We're the only ones to use hemp seed flour for our protein and amino acid source. It's much more readily available to your plant. You're going to trigger, bulk, and harden all in the one bottle too. So we're not separating out into 3. You're just going to do it on the one, and you do it by different feeding ratios.
I love it. And so you're only using that during your bloom period, correct?
Yeah, you start out at your transition week, a little bit lighter. That's helping initiate the flowering. Then you're coming in mid-flower and ramping it up to put on that size and weight. And as you taper back down, it's naturally going to harden it up. And the reason why we chose hemp seed flour for your protein and amino acid source is because it's kind of that all-in-one. Your plant's automatically going to assimilate a vegetable protein better, but in this sense, it's feeding it a protein that it recognizes it because it's from itself, essentially.
Yeah, we know in science that when something recognizes itself, it's going to breed faster, and it's going to inoculate faster, and so it's also going to be able to uptake faster too. When that's the case.
So every hemp seed is 25% protein and has a lot of L amino acids that are great for plant growth.
I love that it says the aroma is slightly nutty, smells edible, but don't eat it.
We have had people drink our products.
Smells
We,
edible.
we had an employee drink some of your product, I think, one time on accident. And he was fine. He slept
Yeah.
like
It
a
was
baby, though.
fine.
He did get bigger, though.
Yeah, so
Well,
He
smelled-
swelled up.
Did
smelled
it
really
did
good,
it bulk
too.
him up?
Yeah, he was bigger afterwards. I'm not going to say how big, but he was bigger.
Hilarious. All right, what's the next additive we got here?
All right, so before we move on,
So
the,
is that-
the
is
King,
that
the
the
King Cola,
PK
the
boost?
King Cola is a booster. So
Yes.
this season, when you're outdoor growing and it's July and you're not running this line and you want bigger product, whatever the fruit is, you can throw this at it, right?
This
Yeah,
is your,
absolutely.
This is your PK boost.
this is our PK booster, but we don't. We'll get into our product guide a little bit later. But this is not that aggressive, heavy PK spike that you see. It's not going to be that phosphorus bomb.
It's easy to control.
Yes.
So you're
Yeah.
more. It's going to be more all the way through, more steady instead of hitting it like week 6 with a big
Yeah.
bomb.
And when
It-
you're doing that, you take the nose off of it too, so you don't want a big phosphorus bomb like that.
Okay.
And
okay,
that's,
good
I
to
mean,
know.
when we talk about like the Dust Bowl that happened, it was because people were coming in and dropping these phosphorus bombs. I mean, these are most of the time potted plants are in a controlled rooted environment.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not needing, it's not just passing through the root zone, it's being contained or it's being recirculated
Totally.
through there. So you don't want to come in so aggressive.
Yeah.
It's just not necessary.
It's so easy to be like, I talk about how you want gas pedal to the metal and we want to push it, but it is so easy to be too aggressive. Like, I feel like I like growing the same strains sometimes over and over because I know where my top can be, you know, so I kind of know where to top out at and I don't overdo it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think personally, you need to grow the same strain 3 times with the same nutrient regimen before you really have any handle on both.
Amen. I believe that.
Because I mean, here you've got seasons, so
Yeah.
even if you're indoor, your environment is going to be different.
100% is. Yep, absolutely.
All right, so we got the Emerald Goddess. Now, premium plant tonic.
This is a one that's a little bit darker. It could actually stain. So this one has a little bit more of, is it a
What
little
type
bit
of, it has
earthy.
the goodness in it
Earthy.
then. What's in
Earthy
there? Why don't you
goodness.
break it down and tell me what's in there? I
B
see-
vitamins, humic, fulvic, kelp, alfalfa, back guano, and earthworm castings.
Oh man, this
Very
is
nice.
all the good stuff.
They brew it up into a rinse tea, run it through a centrifuge, and 5-micron screen, and yeah, I love this product so much. You can do so much with it. There's so much inside of it. This is usually split up into multiple bottles for other companies. You're gonna start that early veg.
I feel like this is something you could use not just with cannabis plants,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like look at
Oh.
all that good stuff in there. Like you could use this with any of your flowering plants and of your fruiting plants.
Well,
Like
This is like a
Fruits, vegetables,
compost.
anything.
yes,
It's a
absolutely.
compost tea minus the microbes, essentially. And I'll tell you, you can grow a plant start to finish with just this. Obviously, you're going to have to up the dosage, so it's maybe not the most cost-effective way to do it.
Right.
But, I mean, it grows a nice plant.
What a great product. I love that.
It is literally my favorite product we make. I think it is, without a doubt, the
Well,
most fortified product.
When I see what's in the product, I know it's probably a little bit more expensive on the line, or is it about in the same?
I mean, it's the King Cola, Honeycomb, and Emerald Goddess are all going to be...
Kelp,
little pricier.
kelp extracts like gold. you know?
Yes, absolutely.
And again, too, they really dialed in the correct concentrations and ratios. When you look at tricantanol in the alfalfa, from the alfalfa, there's the amount that your plant can uptake at a time is the amount on an apple peel. So that's the amount they have in there. So they're very much about what your
They're
plant
aware.
can take,
Yeah.
and that's it. Nothing
not
more, nothing less.
wasteful.
You're not using or paying for something that your plant can't use.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, that's the thing. People are brewing these alfalfa teas and stuff like that, and it's like there's only so much it can take up from the root,
Right.
and they don't even realize like, oh, it's actually more available if you do a foliar feed of it. So I
Absolutely.
mean, the Emerald Goddess is another product you could do
You
a
could do a
foliar feed,
foliar with.
and
Oh,
it's
man.
I love it for like mothers before taking clones. You got B vitamins that are going to reduce plant stress, stuff like that, and help with rooting. So you give a nice little foliar the day before you cut some clones. Even when you've got them under a dome and they don't have roots yet, you can hit them with a light foliar there.
There are so many people that are looking for a good, like gentle foliar. You know, we have some of these foliars that are kind of harsh, or pesticide foliar that can be harsh, but like something gentle like this that you could feed your plant once a week while it's in veg. And I don't know if you have ever done a foliar at home with your plants, but if you haven't, I encourage you to, because if we're an instant gratification type society right here today, you want to see instant gratification in your plants, give them a foliar and come back in a couple hours. and
Especially
you're
if they
gonna
look
see-
hungry or there's something going on, give them a foliar and watch it help correct
Yep,
the decision.
you'll see how happy they are after that.
But be careful, because that, also too late in flower, you can invite some other problematic issues like bud
That's
rot,
right.
mold, mildew.
I encourage just in the veg, maybe first 2 weeks of flower, but after that, I don't foliar anymore after that.
So behind you, there's a poster of honeycomb. And just by the picture, let's take a look at it up here. Just by the picture, it tells me what it does pretty much. So you go ahead and you dive into it and tell me what this thing does.
So honeycombs are aroma and resin richer. That's going to unlock really the genetic potential of a strain. It's not going to skew it one way or another. We've got cane sugar, palm sugar, and agave nectar that are 3 sources of simple sugars that we're using. They're food sources for your microbes, so it's going to help feed your root wizard, which you're going to want to have a food source for there. And then it's producing sugar, it's giving sugar, so your plant is spending less time producing them. As well as it's got a little bit of a secret sauce there that's going to trigger your plant to push out more oils and resins.
In a safe way, we don't use arsenic.
We want more terpy terps, so the more oils and resins.
And when he's saying that oils and resins at home, you guys, he's not just talking about the smell. You're talking about yield and weight also, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's if you're into extraction, that's going to give you more bang for your buck on that. I know the extract artists are all the rave these days, so we've got a lot of people who focus. Not even growing flower weight or structure. They just want the greasiest buds they can get.
Absolutely.
Well, another thing I like about this right here is it's another thing that if you're not running this line, you can add it, right? We can add this to something and see if we can kick it up.
We have a lot of people that come and grab a honeycomb. It's hard for us now to get high bricks molasses in Illinois for whatever reason. We can't get it delivered across the border. So people will substitute something like this, which is great. It does the job. It does what they want it to do, and it's still high quality product that they're looking for.
And the thing with molasses is that is strictly a soil conditioner.
Totally.
That will not make it into the plant. It won't get through the Caspian strip. Whereas the 3 cane sugars, the 3 simple sugars, cane sugar, palm sugar, and agave nectar can actually be uptaken by the plant.
And they're broken down in a way that
for
the plant
a little
can
lesson
uptake.
to everyone at home. The molasses is what? Feeding the beneficials?
Yeah, you're feeding your soil instead of feeding your plants. This is
and there's some benefits. There's some sulfur in there too, usually. But in terms of what you said with people using our products with just picking up a bottle, a lot of these guys that are running with just mineral-based nutrients, and they're not using these organic compounds. We have a ton of those guys who will grab the honeycomb and the emerald goddess to kind of push more flavors and aromas.
Yeah.
Because what happens when you just grow with mineral salts, the quality of the finished product tends to degrade rapidly. There's been a lot of talk, I just grew with salts.
Cardboard terps. Yeah,
correct.
That's what you hear, yeah.
So using some of these products, it does something called delaying senescence. So that's like the ripening and then rotting of fruits and vegetables, and we're delaying that. So it's essentially prolonging the quality of the cure. So by incorporating the emerald goddess, the honeycomb, stuff like that, you can actually have finished product that has a longer shelf life to it, and it holds that nose to it a lot longer.
You heard it here.
You ain't got to tell us, but you can tell them at home because we see it.
If you're looking for something that's going to last a little longer, cure a little bit better, have that nose and taste that you're looking for, Emerald Goddess and Honeycomb. Use the whole line, but if you're not, grab the Emerald Goddess and Honeycomb and add that to yours.
And we do have a lot of people that struggle with having a smell at the end. And it's like these terps, it looks great, everything is great about it, but then the smell's not there. And I like to smell the stuff from 3 or 4 foot.
You like it to be loud. Yes. He likes it to be loud. Yeah,
loud and proud.
You'll see a difference with the honeycomb within a day or two, too.
And there's a lot of people who have some issues with the curing process. That can definitely create some havoc for you too.
Or drying process. I tell them to quit wet trimming, and I think that they are still too. So I don't know.
It's a hard thing to dial in.
That's something we should ask everybody who comes on the show. Do you wet trim or dry trim? And let's ask you guys right now. What would you do?
We have to smoke their product and decide.
I guess it depends what you're doing with the product too, right?
Now 100%. Give me your bud so I can smoke it. I gotta try it.
You guys doing much with like Canatrol or Grove bags?
Yes. We work with both of those.
We've gotten rid of a lot of Canatrols.
Yeah.
I think we're the only rep in Illinois still for them.
Nice. Yeah, and Grove Bag, another Ohio company.
We love Grove bags.
We can't keep those in stock.
I swear by Grove bags because one, they work. I'm the most forgetful person. Like I'm gonna either open my jars and forget to close them, or forget to open them completely. Like the Grove bag saves me as a grower.
I literally have forgotten, pounds, ounces, whatever. And I'll open up that Grove bag like months later. I'm like,
You're like,
oh my God, this is fire.
It smells great. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, we're talking, I just rough trim threw it in there.
Yes.
And
yes.
for everyone at home, I believe that the Grove bags work is because they're not porous like your Ziplocs and all these other ones that just absorb and destroy the
No,
terps.
they're made specifically to keep it at a certain humidity, a
Yep.
certain place.
And the
Yep.
plastic, the material is made of something that's like a non-porous type plastic that's not going to destroy your smell. And it almost acts like a jar, but it burps itself a little bit,
Yeah.
which I
It's,
really
it's
like.
self-burping.
Self-burping, yep. But the cure is important. So give yourself a little
Wait a minute.
hand up and get the honeycomb.
We need to invite.
Goddess.
We need to have Grove on the show.
Yeah.
We haven't asked them yet.
Grow bags are huge.
Yeah.
We sell tons of them here
I
in the
love
store.
them.
Yep.
So okay, we know what to do now.
You
All
need
right.
some level up custom branded ones.
Yeah,
There
no
you go.
kidding, right?
They'll do them. I saw
cool.
Fish Shit had some
I've
5 pound
seen
ones.
that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, we have Fish Shit here too, so they send us some of those bags, I think, also. So, but yeah, that's really cool. It gets their logo out there on them and stuff.
What's
so,
our next one up here?
so our next one is after the honeycomb.
What do we got? We should have
The
Cow
Cow
Mag.
If you don't know what that is, then you need to start over, right?
Well, Cow Mag is something that I think a lot of people might be the first product they try of yours. You know, they're looking for something to supplement, and a lot of times, you know, they'll go to the different companies. And your Cow Mag is a nice Cow Mag because it's chelated, so it's going to go straight into the plant.
And
I
one
like
more
that.
thing, your Cal Mag starts off with a 2. I really like these Cal Mags that have a bigger nitrogen number. I'm seeing better results. I don't know why, but maybe you guys can tell us a little bit about what we're looking at
Well,
here.
So, go ahead.
There's a lot of people who feel the exact opposite
That's
way
what I
that
was
you.
gonna say, yeah.
Some
I've
people
seen it,
yeah.
but I've seen it in a mass scale. 4 years of grow stores, thousands of customers using all the Cal Mags. So that's where mine comes from, kind of, but I don't know.
We also too didn't want to come out with a Me Too product. Everyone's got a cow mag, but they're all the same. So what's going to set us apart? And so we have the kelp. It's fortified with kelp in there, but then we also use the calcium magnesium acetate. The nitrate is also in there, but we use the acetate, which is much more readily available to your plant.
Much more readily available.
It costs
yeah.
so much more, so companies
Yeah.
don't use it. So we actually just cut the cost and priced it lower, so we could give you a better product. When you
love
need
that.
your cow mag to hit, you need it to hit, and this product will do that for you.
Yeah, and the added the nature of the kelp that just helps, like it helps with the plant being stressed out. It helps with the plant having some comeback, some rejuvenation. Kelp is one of the fastest growing plants in the world, so it rejuvenates really quickly, right?
And it's got a full spectrum of micronutrients in there,
Right.
so you're getting the irons and stuff like that. Because a lot of times, people are like, "Oh, I have a CalMag issue," and they're like feeding CalMag, and it's they don't have a CalMag that's fortified with iron, and the real issue is an iron deficiency.
That's right.
So you're like putting a Band-Aid on something that needs stitches, and you're constantly putting that Band-Aid back on.
Yes, and
when
so
the
yours
bigger
has
picture-
iron in it. Yep.
With the kelp, you're getting,
So-
You're getting the iron.
So
from
for
the
everyone
kelp.
at
I love
home,
that.
they hear a lot of CalMag, more cowbell, more
I
CalMag.
know we say that more
And
cowbell.
a lot of it behind it, to me, in my mind, is these people are having an acidic issue in their soil or media. And as soon as they start adding some CalMag or flushing with it, it gets where it needs to be more alkaline. It raises alkalinity. Are you guys seeing that too?
Yeah. Generally, what I see is just lockouts. People not getting proper runoff and stuff like that, or people feeding and having it wick back up, so you're getting these buildups, and it just creates all sorts of issues.
People don't realize that when you're not doing a proper runoff, you're stacking salts. All of a sudden, you have all this salt stacked up in your plant. Then you feed it again, and then your plant's locking out because it's like I'm overloaded, so it starts locking out. And then you see deficiencies, and you think, oh, I need some CalMag. So then you're just dumping more into it.
I think that's why it's important to use the root wizard or something similar to root wizard to keep everything moving along. Correct?
And to do your runoffs, you know, and if you're not running off, then you need to make sure you're doing like a straight water at least once a week and pushing those through. I like to do a 10 to 20% runoff every time. Am I wasting a little bit? Probably. Are my plants perfect every time? You betcha. So I'm gonna go with the perfect plants every time, right?
I like it.
And you can also, learn a lot of what's going on in the root system by testing that runoff.
Yeah,
Checking
absolutely.
the pH, the
Absolutely.
ppm,
Yep.
and that kind of dictates what you're going to do next. Like,
Yep.
oh, it's really eating. I'm going to push it even harder.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
s-
doing that is going to give you that heads up of what's going on with your plant before you see.
And
the-
then if you
the
do need to
symptoms.
throttle your nutrients back, you'll see that. Or if you need to increase it, you'll see it because you'll see how much your plant's eating. You're putting in 800, you're getting out 900. You could probably throttle it back a little bit
Your
for
plant's
a little
not
bit at
eating,
least
yep.
until. And then keep in mind, as your plants get older, they're going to eat more. And the big sativa buds or the bigger budded plants, they just always eat more. I see that.
Yeah, right now my plants, they just got done with the stretch and they're starting to come into their really hungry period. So I'm getting to that point where it's like hard to even keep up on how much they're eating.
Well, that's a good thing, though.
I mean,
So
these plants have been bred to be bodybuilders.
Yeah, that's what I always say.
They want to be
like they're-
force fed now. It's not like just throwing it in the ditch and it's going to grow.
Comes
I mean,
out
it will.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Everybody says, well, it's a weed, won't it grow? Well, yeah, sure, it'll grow. It'll grow no matter what, but will it grow what you want?
Right.
Probably
Will it taste
not.
the way you want?
Yeah.
You have to, there's some science behind that.
We see a effect on taste, especially people that don't use enough beneficial bacteria. It'll still grow.
Oh, that makes the biggest difference.
I don't know why, but maybe you can talk real quick on that. Why that beneficial bacteria, it works so well for the taste and it keeps...
I mean, it's just helping break down more of what's there. I mean, this is an accumulator plant. So, you know, there's two thoughts. You got the people out there who don't believe in flushing at all. You know, we're of the mindset of rebuffering the medium, but it's I don't believe you're actually pulling anything out of your plant. It is an accumulator plant. So you're rebuffering your medium. You're stopping it from taking up an aggressive amount of more nutrient. And part of that's going to be with maintaining that rhizosphere that's, you know, healthy and optimized and not loaded with a bunch of mineral salts.
all starting from the roots, so.
Resetting it is a good thing to do. If you're unsure, if you've overfed your plant and you don't know how to do a runoff thing, just reset your plant. You can do that by just kind of flushing through and starting fresh.
Diluted base nutrient, little CalMag.
Yep.
What I like about your line, it tells me what each bottle is almost by the name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can relate to that because I need to know without knowing. I like to see and with my eyes instead of have to read something. So what we're going to talk about next is sturdy stock. So I mean, I can only
We
imagine.
don't have a bottle of this because it's so popular that we've sold out of it. So this is the silica,
But that's
right?
potassium silicate.
We got one up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do have one up there. Look at us go.
So tell me, you know, how this makes a difference. We know when you're adding these silicates, they're making a huge difference. But maybe break yours down for us and kind of tell us maybe how you guys go about this.
Well, first, it's super concentrated. It's 11.2%, which, again, I think liquids kind of get a bad name sometimes because they're like, oh, it's just water. But no, we really do concentrate our bottles a lot, so it's not like that. So you're getting 11.2% in the bottle.
And we went with the potassium silicate because it is the most cost-effective silica source to use. Everybody's talking about these monosilicic acids. Like, yeah, they're great. They're expensive. But also, 9 times out of 10, those products are bloom boosters. They're hammering in boron and molybdenum in them. So when you're looking at boron, it's leaching sugars to the root zone and it's increasing plant fibers. Molybdenum's taking that nitrogen and helping with top growth. I mean, these are all bloom boosting characteristics. We're building those things up in our base nutrient, not selling you a $100 bottle of silica. So the potassium silica is the most cost effective form of silica. It's not going to be the instantaneous hit that monosilicic acid is, but it's much more cost effective and friendlier on your wallet, and we're not masquerading our silica as a bloom booster.
And that's
like
what,
that.
Yeah, that's what we really wanted to do. When we explained the CalMag, how we have the acetate in there, and that was a lot, but we wanted to cut the cost down. So you need this to hit immediately.
Yes.
So then with this, we're like, okay, concentrate that up. We don't need this to be a crazy expensive bottle, but we're going to have that potency in there for you.
Yeah, a lot of people skip silica, and I think it's such an important thing to have in your grow. You're giving your plant not only the strength to hold larger buds and fruits, you're also fighting off against pests and mildew and any kind of other stuff.
Well,
It's increasing your cell wall strength. So I mean,
Exactly.
There's a lot of companies that just sell the silicate and they got a good market, you know, and we sell it too. So I feel like it's a must.
I mean, it increases your weight. If nothing else, it
Totally.
will add more weight.
Yep.
Some people think it pushes out more resin. I don't personally notice a huge increase in resin because it's already dripping from the honeycomb. But
Right, but I mean, if it can hold bigger buds, then maybe it is getting
Yeah.
resinier. It just can hold that
We're
strength.
talking about these bodybuilders. You need
Yes.
something to hold
That's
that
right.
up.
We need that
Yes.
body size.
Yeah.
So is this something that we need to add in first then, our silica based?
because of the concentration. So our whole line is pH neutral, with the exception of sturdy stock.
Yeah.
When you'll notice,
Silica's really hard. I mean, it is one of those things that it will change the pH so much. So if you're using silica,
You got to mix that in first and
Yes.
really slowly mix that in and let it sit.
That's right. You got to add your silica first, mix it in, and like she said, let it set. I will go down and put my silica in and let it sit for hours before I go mix my next. And what happens is, like, I don't have to add as much pH up or down to get that back because it's already kind of like buffered itself.
It seems to
add
go to
your
work.
silica
It seems to
first.
go to work instantly, and I know it strengthens probably the cell walls. And it's strengthening the base and the stem, and which creates more uptake. So that's why you want to use it all the way along, because you're building those stems, right?
Armor.
And it'll
That's
be
right, it's
more
an armor, I
resistant
like
to
that.
drought. It will be, any insect pincers or anything like that.
You're making it
resistant to
healthier
those.
and stronger to anything that can come at it, basically. Like she said, you're putting an armor on it.
And people don't know the difference unless they do it side by side or they start using a silicate. Because a lot of people at home, you guys may not be using a silicate, and maybe you should look at this one or look at a silicate, because it's only going to improve the cellular of your plant. It's
Well,
just,
it's one of those side by sides where if you did a side by side, you could visually see the difference in the stalk size.
And I
Like,
think
you
me and
could
Nicole are
visually
now
see
going to
it.
have to do a side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the silica,
We could
you
use
get the no silica.
we could use their silica.
Yep, you said it
So-
in harvest.
We'll do it.
If you're feeding it every time, 1 to 2 mLs because of the concentration. So this is going to go a long way with you.
Nice.
If you were feeding it once a week, you can go up 4 or 5 mLs per gallon. But that's when it gets more reactive. So a lot of people, we kind of steer them the more 1 to 2 mLs.
1 to
up.
2, and then feed 2 to 3 times a week, right? Yeah, perfect. And then we don't have any of the bottles out here right now, but we have the pH up and pH down, which is, pretty basic for a nutrient line.
Now, what do you guys? What do you use for pH up and pH down? What's in your stuff?
The phosphoric acid in the down is, and we use that, and it's 40 to 45%, so
I like
it's super
it.
concentrated. And the potassium hydroxide is 35 to 40%. And neither of them are dyed.
Yep.
They're all
And-
food grade.
Nice.
Actually,
that.
the acid is also what Coca-Cola uses. So, I mean, it'll still peel the paint off of your car, but
Yeah.
it's food grade.
Yeah,
it's-
and so you have to be careful when you're using the pH ups and downs because they can kind of be caustic, right? They can be caustic.
Oh, especially at these concentrations. I mean, because of the concentrations that we're using, a lot of the MSOs are buying ours by the 55-gallon drum because
That's great.
it goes such a long way.
Yeah, we don't want to use a bunch of pH up or down. I want a very small amount to be able to get me there.
Well, the other thing is for everyone at home is all these pH ups and down on the market do not react the same, do not hold the same, do not do the same thing. So what they're using, I know for sure holds great in a reservoir and holds for the longest period of time.
Yes.
Some of this other stuff they're trying to stay organic or do that. If you're going to do
Citric
that, you need
acid.
to use
Yeah,
it.
that's
You need
not
to
gonna-
use it right away.
and it's
I
not going to be
believe.
stable, and so this is something
Just use
that
it, yeah.
it's
So
concentrated.
keep that
you
in
can
mind
use
on how you're growing at home.
a small amount, and it's going to be stable in your reservoir for a while. So
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna
mean,
keep
these
it
are, in terms of what you're going to see in bottled products, these are right there with the strongest in the industry.
I
and
love
that's,
that.
that's
Without having to put a warning label on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right. Yeah,
or
for real.
poison all over it.
Caustic. All right, I think that's pretty much the whole line, right? I think we got it all.
Ooh, HydroClear.
Oh, we
Uh,
totally forgot the HydroClear. I don't know how we missed
That is our multi-enzyme based line cleaner. So we went a different route. Some people will do the hypochlorous acid.
Yeah, and they'll add that sometimes into their nutrient line and through the lines and stuff too.
Yeah, and they'll do that to keep their lines cleared. But the problem with that product is it takes away from any beneficial bacteria
It
or
kills.
fungus.
It kills all the beneficial bacteria.
So ours does not.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is safe
I
for
like that.
bacterias, and really, it's just you can run a small amount as a preventative maintenance with your feed, or you can do a concentrated line flush in between cycles and stuff like that.
Oh, perfect.
Being in the auto pots, I was just running like 1 to 2 mLs, and I
Between
had-
cycles or through your feed.
with the nutrients, and I never had an issue with a clog or anything like
Nice.
that. And I was running the original tiny spaghetti lines with it.
Nice. Yeah, I like to hear that because coming from a big facility, I know one of the things that they really struggle with is, cleaning the lines and having clean lines and stuff. So having something that makes that not such a struggle where you're not switching them out all the time or using heavy, harsh chemicals to clean them in between is the key.
Well, another thing, the biggest thing to me that I take away from that is that I'm not hurting my beneficial bacteria because I know when I have beneficial bacteria, everything's way better, yield, everything.
Yeah.
And that's one of the secrets, is that beneficial bacteria thing. And if you don't have a lot of it at home, you should add some beneficial bacterias and do a side by side because I've already seen it, done it, and my mind's up that it's just like bacteria in your gut. You don't have it, you're not gonna digest your food properly.
You'll be sick, right?
Yeah. So it's the same with
healthy.
your plants, you guys. So keep that in mind.
Healthy
and,
gut biome for your plants and a healthy gut biome.
And these
for
guys
you.
here provide an awesome product and a clean, laid out correctly and tested, and they've evolved. So
Absolutely.
I really like them, and we've seen the results.
And one of the things we haven't mentioned yet is they have this awesome website, and we're going to give you guys that website here in a second. But if you come into the shop, we also have these really cool books, and the books have everything we're showing you here on the website. You can take one home with you, you can have it, buy the line, get a book, and then you're going to have all this information at your fingertips. Look at how cool it is. And everything that you're seeing is in these books, all of the artwork plus all of the information that you're getting.
It's very digestible too.
Yeah, it is. You could sit and read it like a novel. It's very digestible.
And I mean, for anybody using anybody's products, we're breaking down what each individual element that we're putting in, and some of these things are going to be overlaps with what you see in other products in the industry. Be like, oh, this is why we use kelp. This is why we've got the humic and the B vitamins. So it's really educating on growing plants, not just propaganda for our line.
That's right.
Yeah, what
That's
your plant
exactly
needs,
right.
how it's using it.
That's exactly right. And some of these companies are going under these nutrient lines. They're selling out or going under. And maybe you're one of those people that uses one of those lines and you're looking for something new. So this is a great place to start, where they're giving you the information. You have it at your fingertips, and it's spelling it out for you. And this, if you're going from like a liquid organic line that you can't no longer get, this is maybe a nice place to go, because it's going to have some of that organic material that you were using before.
Yeah, it's a biomineral line is what we refer to ourselves as. So we're blending mine minerals with organic compounds. So we're by no means organic, but we're kind of giving you the best of both worlds. You're getting that push from the mineral
That's how I like
salts
to grow.
And we
largely in the base, and then a lot of the organics are going to be found in the additives.
And
I
we
like
can
that.
pass on metals testing, and the purity rates of our raw materials are in the 90s, which is super important.
So
because
important.
it's also helping with uptake, and you can see, you can smell, you can taste the difference in that.
Yeah, well, as you know, as people who are ingesting this in some way, shape, or form, we can't take in those heavy metals the same way. So, like, that's a huge thing. Not all companies are doing this, so pay attention to the ones that are, and make sure that they're doing the testing for you. They're making sure it's a quality product, and you're better, the plants are better, everybody's happier.
And what was that website that they can find this on? Is it emeraldharvest.co?
.co.
Emeraldharvest.co.
Awesome. Yeah, I like you get all the information readily available right at your home. So if you don't have a booklet, sometimes we usually have them in store too.
We do, yeah.
We have feeding charts in store. It's available online.
But it's online too. Yeah,
that makes it
absolutely.
nice and convenient
And they
to work
have
with.
different swag and stuff. You know, you see Steve's t-shirt.
Yeah,
I
your
have some
swag's
t-shirts
awesome.
at home, but they have a whole swag shop, and you
Yeah.
should check it out. It's really cool stuff.
Yeah, and if we have a shirt in stock and you get the whole lineup, we give it to you for free. We usually swag you out. So if you decide you want to make the move, come into the store, grab this lineup, and let me swag you out. If we don't have one of these, we'll get you something. But we usually have a few of these laying around.
We do. And today we are gonna, I think, give something away. What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you guys want to give away today?
Yeah, let's give away a full kit.
Oh my goodness!
A whole starter
This
kit.
could be the biggest giveaway ever.
This is worth over $200. You know,
Is it over 300 maybe?
It's
What is it?
MSR.
$225.
$225.
I like
Value
it.
of $225.
All right, so
and you get a chance to try this awesome product, and I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed. You're gonna come back for more.
I like it, and it has everything in there. It looks like. So what all do we get in this kit?
You're gonna get a base. Well, you'll either 2-part or 3-part.
Yeah, we can do either one.
So you'll get the base. You'll get the.
Fuck it, let's give away one of each.
Let's do one of each. All right,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
do it. Let's
Do you want to?
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
why not?
Okay.
So we're gonna pick two winners for this
Yeah,
one.
you must pick up locally.
Here's
though.
the catch: we can't send it to you. It's too heavy.
kinda
so
heavy,
you have to
it'll get
pick it up
damaged.
in East Peoria or Springfield.
Yep.
So on this episode, we're gonna let our guests tell you how you can win this, but
Yeah.
we have 2 chances to win. So make sure you're commenting.
All right, so what do they got to do to win this bad boy?
Ooh, what do we want to do? Do we want 2 questions?
Sure, if
yeah,
you
we
want
get 2
to.
questions.
Completely up to you.
All right, so first one we'll do how many and what are the sources of simple sugars in the honeycomb?
And
And-
how can they find this information to win this?
So first off, we said it in this podcast.
We said
so
it in
if
this
they listen to the
podcast.
podcast, they can go back, rewind it.
If they remember.
That's easy.
Oh, yeah.
There's a rewind, listen. Yep.
So we've got it there, and it could also be found in our product guide.
So you can go online and find it too. So these are answers that you can find. You will have a chance to win as long as you just comment the answer to what kinds of sugars are in the honeycomb product.
And then
What's
we'll
the
do the
other-
second one. What's our source of protein in the King Cola?
What is the
Okay.
source of protein in the King Cola? You can hear this on this episode if you rewind it,
Yep.
or you can go online to the emeraldharvest.co website and find it there.
Yep.
So,
and if anybody messages me, what's the answer? You're automatically disqualified.
we're going to disqualify you. Leave Steve alone.
Leave me alone. I can't. No more cheating.
Answer
you guys.
answer on our page here, and then we will, give us a couple weeks. We like to give people time to get on there and answer, and then we will pick a couple winners, 2 different winners for you to come pick up this. And this, I'm telling you, as somebody who was a new grower at one time, this would have been huge in my life because I went through trial and error on so many different. Finding something that was like quality, that would have changed my life. So let this change your life.
She's got 2 different examples of people.
Yeah, especially for the ladies out there. I know it can be very overwhelming, intimidating, and you just I hear so many women when I talk to them say, I have everything, I just I need someone, I'm waiting for my friend who's gonna help me figure this out. And I'm like, no, just go out and do it. And one of the earlier events that we did, I had a woman come back and say she got the Kickstarter kit, used it, just followed the feed chart, read the product guide, everything. She outperformed her partner that's been doing this for 10, 15 years.
I love that story.
The excitement,
I love
everything
that story.
I hear over and over and over again. So you can do it.
Yes.
And then there was this other woman in the beginning.
Hold on, we got to talk about that one a little bit more because her partner then she brought him to the table. He's like, I want to know what she's doing. Kind of like
I love that so much.
Hat on his side, like she crushed it.
Women are natural caretakers, right? That's all you're doing. All we are doing is caretaking. Like taking care of plants is not that different from taking care of kids. When they're babies, they need a little bit more attention, and when they're teenagers, you throw some water and go away for the weekend.
And
it's
I truly
simple.
believe your plants know you too. I mean, I
Yes.
really believe they
So
feel your energy.
women-
They know who you are.
Women out there, you can do this. This is caretaking. You can outperform your husband. Let's show these men what's up. Come on.
You should be able to mother the mothers better than us because you're motherly.
That's right. So what was the next story you had?
This it was when I first started in the industry, and I was again just very intimidated. And I was trying to learn everything I could, and at that point I hadn't grown anything, and just kind of nervous. And this woman walked up. I think she said she was in her 70s, and I asked her if she about her vegetable garden, what she was doing. She's like, honey, I'm growing weed and I'm damn good at it. And I was like,
I love it.
Didn't see that.
She'd be my best friend.
Exactly. I was like, yes, this just like the confidence in you, and you went out and you did it, and just go and do it. Just don't stop holding yourself back.
Yeah.
There's so many more women in this industry now, but you see
There
it.
is, but I see women holding themselves back
Yeah.
because it is a male-dominated industry.
Yes.
So women,
Go get
come
it.
on,
You can
let's
crush
do this.
it.
You can
Yes,
do it.
more
We got
ladies.
you. We got your back. We got your back.
Yeah, I've met a few good women growers.
Oh,
and
amazing.
Not going to
Yes.
say who. I've met a couple. I don't want their heads to get too big. You know what I mean?
Oh, get your head big. Yes, yes, yes.
Us guys, we don't get big heads like you girls.
No,
Yeah,
none of
sure.
you are
Modest.
master growers,
We're so
right?
modest.
No ego involved at all.
Well, since you're giving away something, can me and Nicole, we want to give you something. What do we want to give
we
them,
have
Nicole?
something fun for you. So for Melanie here, we have a Level Up Genetics T-shirt. There it is for you right there. I'll toss that over.
Thank you.
And then for you, Phil, we have it's one of our new lines. It's called Cherry Coma. So it's our Oklahoma Coma crossed with cherry.
It almost
Gorilla.
looks like your King Cola guy.
Doesn't that look at
That looks like me before I cut my hair.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, we wanted to give you guys
appreciate
a little
you guys.
something. We appreciate you guys coming so much. I know we've been talking about this for a while, and you guys have, a family at home, so it's not always so easy. So thank you for flying all this way
Yeah.
and coming and seeing us.
The other thing
and
is
sharing with us
Yeah.
with your stuff.
Because
We really want to know.
we're all busy in our own lives. But before we let you go, is there anyone you guys want to thank or anyone you guys think we should be paying attention to also at home to help us with our grow knowledge?
Oh my gosh, I mean, there's.
You can't thank each other.
Like Snoop Dogg, I'd like to thank myself for
I
coming
like
all the
thank
way out
me
here.
for being me.
Honestly, we got a great team. Our team is
The company,
amazing.
I know the company.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these guys are like family to us.
Heck
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, Robert, I've known, I've worked for him for about 15 years at
Made
this
all of
juncture.
this happen. So,
I love that.
And our commercial guy, he's incredible. Cortland, he's so wonderful. He can dial you in like nobody else. I mean, when he walks out of a facility, people are like, oh my God.
Thank you.
We've seen him
I
turn
love
places
that.
around. It is
In terms of
spectacular to see.
Just the fact
irrigation
that you
help.
guys are there for 10 years and you've been with the same guy for 15 years, that speaks volumes right there, right? You know, you can tell that you guys are committed, passionate, family.
The other thing I like about them is that they're in the commercial industry too. They're growing commercially too with their products, so they're getting tested all the time. And things are, you know, they're
Totally.
saying how they're doing. And you guys been in the business looks like what 15 years at least or close to that. To stick around that long, you guys are doing it right. And me and Nicole want to tell you thank you
Yes,
because last
thank
4
you.
years we brought you guys in, and it's been great. It's been a great product. Nobody's been unhappy. You
No,
know,
we
and-
appreciate
it
the
takes the
support.
time for you guys
No
too. You
issues.
don't have to sit there and, you know, figure out everyone's issues and problems,
Yeah.
and it's
Nope.
just easy, and they got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what I found is that when people finally do try this project and switch over to it, they are loyal. Like they don't come back, right? So they're loyal. So you're doing it right. So
Yeah, and
props to you guys.
For any of these guys out here that have any questions, you can always find us at Emerald Mel and Phil on Instagram.
Oh.
We're happy to help you out
Wonderful.
there. Even
I
if you're
love
in
to
a
hear
different
that.
market
Yep.
and you're maybe dealing with a different rep, we can put you in touch with them. I mean, we've got reps in Europe. We've got people who cover Australia.
Love it.
We got people
So
all
anybody
over.
out there, we got you covered. Just hit up Mel and Phil at Phil and Mel. Which
At
At
Emerald.
Phil- Yes.
At Emerald Mel and Phil.
one? At Emerald
that
Mel
is a
and Phil.
tongue twister.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then also remember the questions we asked you earlier. There's 2 questions, so don't just answer one, right? You answer both, and you got a chance at both of them there.
Yeah,
so just
absolutely.
keep that in mind too. You want to be entered twice.
All right, so that's about all for today.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys making the trip, and
We appreciate you having us.
Yeah.
hopefully you guys will
thanks.
come back soon, and we can
Yes.
dive in and do some more stuff. And we're
Yes.
gonna do some side by side stuff.
If
think, and
I ever
document
get
it.
back out to New York, I'll hit you guys up. And
Yes.
we'll have a day in the park or something.
Yes.
Oh, it's-
I would
it's-
love that. And
Yeah.
let's, let's take
wild
some
how that
classes.
cannabis market took off out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You're right. In the East Coast, it really is taking off. We just had Owen from Rhode Island come in from Athena.
Yeah.
So like it's really and things are really popping out there.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
exciting.
Yeah.
Things are coming back.
Yeah.
They're going back up again. It always ebbs and flows, and it went down a little bit,
We're
but
coming back up to that
Yeah.
uphill. I like that.
The nice thing about New York too is anywhere you can legally smoke a cigarette, you can smoke cannabis. So
Stop it.
I mean,
that is my
it's
kind of town.
everywhere.
That's our kind of town.
Well, on that note, we're gonna catch you guys next episode. We appreciate you tuning in.
Thanks for coming.
Have
Bye.
a good night.
See ya.
See ya.
Get to your highest level that you can deny with Level Up Seed and Garden Supply. To grow your medication and you need an education, we're your one-stop shop, 6th the Laurel Block. For your pots and soil and your lights and beans, Level Up as you go.